a fairly strong set of numbers coming in here as well. We have Bharat Madan, Time Director and CFO, who's joining us on the show right now. Mr. Madan, good morning. Thanks for taking the time out. Your quick assessment on how things are panning out when it comes to one, demand, and secondly, pricing environment at the moment.
So if you talk about demand perspective, I think if you look at last few quarters, so the numbers this quarter has been for the industry almost flat, which is actually a favorable sign compared to the sequential quarter, Q4 last year, which was almost 18-19% degrowth for the industry. So compared to that, it looks like the rural market is recovering now. So that's a positive sign, and July also has been mildly positive for the industry. So we expect, I think, the overall, given the positive factors in the market today on the rural side, the above average rainfall and government push on the rural market. So I think all these factors should lead to a positive momentum, the second half of this year. The industry should show good double-digit growth.
Then revenues were, like you said, were flat. They were down, in fact, 1% YOY. You believe that there has been an uptick and you are seeing some green shoots. So is it fair for us to assume that you'll go back to an increase on top line and probably see healthy volume growth and margins as well? While they've you've reported flat margins, it is lower than what we saw in the same quarter last year. So again, an uptick in margins can be expected going ahead, or would you maintain at these levels?
Yeah, the main reason for margin drop obviously was the volume, because the volume for the quarter was slightly down for us, 32% down compared to last year. So that is one of the key reasons, why there was a drop in the margin, and also there was a production cut taken to control the inventory within the company. So, but that will get made up now because we're expecting the season quarters will be very strong, especially September to November months, which is the key season period for the industry. So the production will get ramped up now in Q2. So we expect, I think, with the kind of positive factors on the ground, and in the July we have seen some positive momentum for the industry. So we expect the recovery should continue from this point onwards, and we should be able to deliver a revenue growth which will be positive, for the year, unlike in the first quarter.
All right, so a view on the railway order book as well, which has seen its fair share of volatility. How are you looking at, the next few quarters here?
See, in the first quarter, obviously the railway and both construction equipment divisions were soft because it's the election period. So we're not seeing any fresh trending happening from the railway side. But I think in the second quarter onwards, now the order booking will start. So right now the order book stands at almost 880 crores, which will get executed over the next 5 to 7 months. But otherwise, if you compare with the sequential quarter, I think last 2 to 3 quarters, the volumes in railway were lower. So this quarter actually we're seeing improvement, compared to the sequential quarter. The year-on-year it looks slightly lower. But I think we are bullish on this segment, and we expect the business will deliver double-digit growth the way it has been doing, I think, in the past few years. So this year also will be no exception. We'll continue to see the growth coming on the railway side.
What's done for you, Mr. Madan? What is the contribution of exports, and what is the outlook on the export front for the rest of FY25? Mr. Madan, I cannot hear you. Your audio is a little hazy. Can you please repeat the answer? How has exports been in this quarter, and what's the outlook of exports for the rest of the year? Are you expecting an uptick on that front too?
Yeah, so can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I think the export lately have been obviously under pressure because our major exports have been to the European market. Almost 60% exports happen to that continent now. So the market in Europe has been under recession because of the inflationary pressure, which they have seen. So the demand has been subdued, and there's a lot of inventory correction which has happened, both within the Kubota group in Europe as well as for the external channel, which is the deal. So as of now, I think that segment will remain soft for maybe a quarter or so, but we expect the demand recovery should happen now, in the second half of this year. So overall, if you look at exports for this year, we expect to be marginal growth over last year. But if we talk about the long-term trend, so we expect the momentum will be there because there's a lot of sourcing opportunity which we have to supply within the Kubota group, which will continue to have. There are certain products under development for the export market which are ongoing, and that will also help in pushing the volumes further on exports.
Okay, all right, Mr. Madan, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through the quarter as well as what we can expect going forward. That's the management of Escorts Kubota telling us about how things have panned out.